What's going on, NFL fans? Right now, we're going to be talking about Brandon Marshall signing a 2-year deal with the Giants and him saying that he's excited to play alongside OBJ. Pretty much, we're going to go ahead and break down what's going on with the Giants right now. Victor Cruz, him being released, that said a lot to me. Let me just start off with that because the Giants have done right by this guy for a very, very long time, as we know. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that he's supposed to be a veteran and he was part of the boat trip that the New York Giant wide receivers had prior to getting their butts kicked by the Green Bay Packers. But we're going to talk about Brandon Marshall in particular. Let me just say this right now. First, there was speculation that he may have signed with the New England Patriots. When I first heard that, I laughed at it. I'm going to tell you why I laughed at it. No matter where Brandon Marshall has played, the same thing comes out regardless. The guy is, I don't want to say that he's like he's not a guy that people get along with. I'm just going to say that he's not really the type of teammate that would have probably meshed with the New England type of way. He's very vocal. He's very, what is that word? He's animated, and he wants people to understand his passion for the game, and I don't think that would have blended well with Bill Belichick and his system. With the New York Giants, and we all know that OBJ is something special. A lot of people argue that. They say, you know what, the guy only runs slants. He doesn't really do a lot of things. I can look at the tape and show you where he just outright beat people down the field. Now, Eli Manning, overall, in the playoff, that playoff game that they lost to the Packers, Eli Manning came to play. Now, I'm a huge critic of Eli Manning. I think he's one of the luckiest football players to ever play in the game. And everything that he's done, including beating the Patriots twice in 2 Super Bowls, is something that whoever bet those games, they're probably never going to have to work again a day in their lives because I didn't see either one of those things happening both times. That being said, he's going to have a lot of options now because even though Brandon Marshall comes with a lot of baggage as far as what he is, he's a huge asset on one side of the field. Because he's strong enough to beat anybody one-on-one. He's not the fastest guy, but he could get open. He could run out routes. He could, run posts. He can run routes. Great route runner. If you guys are into that type of thing and you watch it, guys and girls, if you're into that type of thing, you would know what I'm talking about. OBJ adds another dimension, okay? You can't cover OBJ. And I know people are going to say, yeah, bro, they did it. They locked him up. He wasn't focused. He dropped some early passes in that playoff game. And I think that it's part of him being a young receiver. He got a lot of success based off of his likeness being on, a national game in EA Sports Madden NFL 16. He gained a lot of things after, that one-handed catch was pretty crazy. Obviously we know the guy that he caught the ball on, Brandon Carr, is a total bum, but it doesn't change the fact that it was an unbelievable catch. So people are still out, the jury's still out on OBJ. I really think that he has the potential to be one of the most magnificent receivers to ever play the game if he applies himself. Do I think that Brandon Marshall is going to set an example for him? It's yes and no. We all know that he's very, very charitable with certain things with mental health. Brandon Marshall, he does a show, podcast. He does a lot of things outside of it. He contributes to a lot of different aspects of the youth and things like that. But I don't know about him as an influence on OBJ. I don't think OBJ is at the point right now that he's even listening to people in this camp. So to say that Brandon Marshall is just going to come out here and just be this crazy mentor for OBJ, I don't buy that. What I do buy is that I think Eli Manning is going to have he's going to probably have his best year as an NFL quarterback right now. And I know people are going to say, what are you talking about? The guy throws the balls, with his eyes closed all the time. Yeah, that's true. Most of the time, he doesn't even know what he's looking at and he throws the ball. That's a fact. But with Brandon Marshall being 6'4" and big on one side and just lightning speed on the other side, all you have to do is tell your brain how fast and which, at what velocity you should be throwing the ball. That's all Okay, OBJ is open. We're throwing it deep and far. Brandon Marshall's open. We're throwing it short and accurate. That's all he has to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not... The NFL, the National Football League is a very, very difficult sport to play in and consistently be solid. And over the years, has Eli Manning thrown a lot of interceptions? Absolutely. But I will give you this. For all the Eli Manning fans out there, the dude brushes off everything more than I've seen any other quarterback do it, with the exception of Tom Brady. But we can't even put Tom Brady and Eli Manning in the same sentence, even though I have Giant fans in New York that argue with me that he still beat him head-to-head 2 times, so he should be in the conversation. overall, the body of work, I can't logically, with a clear mind, maybe after a couple drinks, a couple shots of vodka, I can put Eli Manning in the same sentence as Tom Brady. But at this point, no. Okay? But getting back to the whole point of the New York Giants and what I think is ultimately going to happen, the Giants offensively should be okay. I'm going to say that. I don't think they're going to have a lack of points. Their run game, I don't know, but, Brandon Marshall is a great blocker, so that's huge. Janoris Jenkins on the other side of the ball, they did, Olivia Vernon, they have a lot of pieces that can make their defense very, very solid, and I think now you have to honor and respect a real veteran receiver in Brandon Marshall and an up-and-coming superstar with OBJ. That's very, very difficult to cover. For any of you individuals that's actually played football on any level, when there's a guy that can get open no matter what, that is a nightmare for defenses. And like I said, Brandon Marshall is not the fastest guy, but he's a guy that's going to get open. And he's going to be open very often. And he's going to stiff on people in the face. And he's going to run the ball for 6. He's going to make plays. Okay? He made Fitzpatrick look like a stud. And we all know Fitzpatrick is not that good of a quarterback. Okay? He's average at best. And he made him look pretty good while he was with the Jets. So I will tell you this. I'm very, very excited for Brandon Marshall. I'm glad that he went to the NFC in that whole conference, because I think he's going to help the Giants. I don't think that he will help to mentor OBJ. I think that they will mesh fine because they both are after the same things. We obviously know that Brandon Marshall is looking for a playoff win. So I think that that'll be enough for him to be able to go out there and perform and for them to get it done. And honestly, I don't think in that division, even with the Cowboys, that, the Redskins, what I'm saying? It doesn't seem like it's much that's going on there. With the Eagles, it's going to be hell games probably with the, within that NFC conference. But ultimately, I think the Giants right now has made a statement by signing Brandon Marshall. Let me know your thoughts. Maybe you'll be the topic of my next podcast. GmiasWorld. One love.